Hi Stitchy friends! Welcome to Flosstube number 19. My name is Chelsea. I am the owner, designer, and creator for Vermont Stitchy Co. I want to first apologize for the glare. I have a big window here and I just can't seem to get the lighting right. So it is what it is. I'll stand a little like this so now you can see. This is Shdowfax. If you're new to my channel, I have 2 cats. This is Shdowfax. He is a big boy. He's almost 12 pounds of cuddliness and cuteness, and he's been following me around. Oh, of course. There it is. Right on time. I didn't plan that, guys. He's not trained. Yeah, so if you're new to my channel, this is my cat, and I'm one of 2, and I talk about my cross stitching. Occasionally I'll talk about some quilting stuff that I do. I sprinkle it in. It is not what I spend normally my whole time on, but geez Louise, this glare. Okay, we're gonna do like this. This is my okay side today. But I do have some one finished product that I just put on Etsy today, and then one that I have finished. It's a very small one. I'll give you a sneak peek. It's not on my Etsy shop, but I'll go over that. And then I want to show you a design I did. Again, like I said, I designed my stuff. There's no AI involved. I don't use any AI to help me with these projects. So I draw a lot of them out by hand, and then I sit there and put it into the program myself. So yeah, let's get started. Tuck in, get some cross stitching going. As I told you the last time, I'm trying to keep it below 20 minutes. Good Lord. I'm trying to keep everything below 20 minutes so that it'll upload in time. So for whatever reason, if I go above 30 minutes or even 21 minutes or above, it can take hours upon hours to upload. For again, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I live in Vermont. Don't know what's happening. So I'm hoping to keep it below 20 minutes. It should be below 20 minutes, and it'll upload quickly and on time. But this is the first one, so if you follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram. It's linked in the description below, but Vermont Stitchy Co, all one word, on Instagram. You'll find me there. And I showed a few, or posted a few pictures of this. This is the final piece. If it looks glittery to you, that is intentional. The blues are glitter DMC floss. You can find them at your local Michaels. Michaels online also has them as well. I actually really enjoyed stitching with this floss. There was one glitter floss that I bought that I did not like. For whatever reason, it was thicker than the other ones, and I do 2 strands in my needle, so 2 strands over 1 is how I stitch. Other people just do 1 strand, and that's perfectly fine. Whatever you want to do is and what works for you is wonderful, and don't let anybody ever tell you any different. But I like 2 strands over 1, and for whatever reason, doing 2 strands with that particular, it was a blue that kind of was this color. I don't know why. It was a pain in the butt to do, and I frogged it. I was like, we're not doing this. I can't stand it. So I didn't use that one. I bought it. I have it. It's in my stash. I think maybe using just one piece of floss for that would work really well, but doing 2 was absolutely horrible, and it was torture. And yeah, so, but this does have glitter. It looks like it's catching it. I hope the camera is doing a good job. Again, it's just the blue that's the glitter. The koi fish don't have anything. The lily pad and the lily doesn't have anything either, but the blue, I just love this glitter floss. I think it's absolutely wonderful. It makes me happy whenever I use it, so I will be using more of it. And because you know me, I love using fake flowers and fake plants, so I did glue some on. I tried to keep it as minimal as I could because I didn't want to go overboard. I think that with the fabric here, this is just regular quilting fabric that I added to all 4 sides. You just can't see the top bit, but it is there. I think with this fabric, too much plants would take away from the focus, which is the cross stitch. So I tried to be as minimal as possible with the flowers and the plants, but I wanted to do a lot more. So this is toned down for me, for sure. So that's the cross stitch piece that is on Etsy right now. You can go on my Etsy shop and find it. So sorry about the glare. It is what it is. This is real life. I don't edit my videos. This is what it is. I want to show you a sneak peek at the one that'll come out next week. It's this. Really cute. Again, fabric on the sides here. I don't do anything on the back of any of my cross stitch that I put in a hoop. You can if you want to. I am just too lazy. If you were to do it, I would suggest probably just a flat piece of fabric and just hot glue it down. Or maybe some batting and then the fabric, whatever suits your fancy. But I'm too lazy. I don't care enough to do it because it's just going to be hung against a wall and nobody's going to look behind it. And if they do, they're not my friends. And if they judge me because my cross stitch on the back doesn't look nice, well then they're not my friends. Who cares, right? It's just the back. Nobody's going to see it. So again, this little one is going to be on my Etsy shop next week. And the koi pond, that's what it's called on Etsy. The koi pond is on my Etsy shop right now. Again, there is no obligation to buy anything that's on my Etsy shop. I just really enjoy creating patterns and putting them out there. If you like them too and want to support me, that's awesome. But if you're just here to listen and to cross stitch, I'm so appreciative of you as well. So thank you so much. Oh, speaking of which, I have 74 subscribers and oh my goodness, I could not be happier. I can't believe I have 74. I know other channels have, millions of views or hundreds of thousands or even a couple thousand followers and subscribers, but for me, 74 is just beyond comprehension. Who wants to listen to this bimbo? I don't know who. I don't edit my videos. I am who I am. I am flawed. I am all these things. I'm obsessively in love with my cats. And I love to do cross-stitchy things. And I also work full-time. So, I'm just so happy that somebody is interested in what I have to say. And again, there's no obligation to buy any of my stuff. I'm just here for the fun and for the party. So thanks. Let's have a party together. Let's enjoy. Okay. Lastly, I want to show, this is a pattern. This is how I do my patterns for the most part. Oopsies. Not upside down. Don't do them upside down. For the most part, I draw out my patterns. And guys, I am not an artist. As you can see, I am not a freaking artist. I am no good. I used to fancy myself an artist, but that's not mine. That's not mine. But the quilt is mine. That is mine. That's where my artistry shines. I used to want to paint and draw. Guys, it did not work out. It did not. This is my sister. She's absolutely wonderful. This is my step grandma, I guess you would say. But this is mine. And I'm going to stick in my lane, and I'm good at quilting and cross-stitching. So I'm an artist in just a different way, but this is not a genre that I am good at. So this is how I get an idea and I just start going from there. It's not going to be exactly the same because some stuff don't cross over to cross-stitch. I try and keep it not too big. It is going to be, trying to remember what it was, because it's an outline of a map. Let me just explain it. Do you guys, those 15th and 14th century maps of explorers where they would have the outline of, let's say, the country, but then they would have big topical geographical locations that are really big, so that you could see what they are. that's where I got this inspiration from. I was just sitting down and I saw one, I don't know, I saw a map. I might have been watching a show that had an old school map, and I thought, oh, I could do that, but make it mystical, not mystical, fantastical. So you've got like a big kind of panda bear type thing, a Loch Ness monster, a mermaid kitty, and a dragon there. Obviously those aren't real. And so I started transferring it and drawing it on the cross stitch pattern creator, and not everything transfers well. It just, I'm trying to keep it not too big, even though it's just going to be an outline, like the middle part isn't going to be filled in because that would take too long. So I did an outline of the land, and then everything, these big destination or focal points or geographical points will then pop on the fabric, but everything else will be flat. Because of the size, and I'm trying to keep it and make it not so huge, it's going to be longer than it is tall. I wanted to make it look good, and sometimes it doesn't transfer. You can do details in drawings, but you can't do it all the time in cross stitch. So I had to pick and choose some things, but I did get the giant mousy panda thing and the Loch Ness monster in there. The mermaid cat, not so much, but I did get the dragon and the castle, which I was surprised about. I thought, oh, this is never going to work. It's going to be too small. It's not going to work, but it did. So I'm going to get started on this in a little bit. Hopefully, I've said that a few times, and then I'm like, and I move on to a different pattern because, you know, time has passed. I was in July, I was focusing on summer stuff. This koi fish was kind of the end of July into August. But I'm not ready for summer to be over quite yet, so I'm not moving into fall stuff. I'm getting stubborn and like digging my heels in. I'm not ready for fall because we're in Vermont, we're in the middle of summer still. I know there are places that are putting out, you know, their pumpkin spice stuff and fall decor. I'm not there yet. My brain can't handle fall when it's, you know, 80 degrees outside and almost 100% humidity. So I'm not there yet. So after this one, I got a little bit ahead and did this. So that's going to give me about a 2-week cushion so that I can do my next kind of summery cross stitch pattern. Then for September, I'm hoping to get the map one out because I'll be ahead a little bit by a few weeks. And then towards the middle of September, I have a plan. We'll see how it goes. I have a plan to then start doing fall stuff in the middle of September. That's when things start to change here in Vermont, and that's when I'll start feeling in the mood for fall stuff. October, I will continue to work on. I've got a few smalls that I intentionally did over the summer, designed over the summer to come out in fall, so that it'll be a quick stitch for me, so that I can get it out before Halloween, so that you guys can hopefully enjoy it as well. So that'll be fun. And then before you know it, will be Christmas time, and I can't even believe that. So, whew. Okay. So again, like I said, if you're interested, this is on my Etsy shop. I will try and find, I know I linked it in the video before, in the previous video, glitter DMC floss, but I will try and find it again and link it in the description box below in case you're interested. It is very nice. I think it's just so fun. I just can't stand it. So I'm gonna try and, in this new pattern that I'm working on right now, I get to use it again. I was very intentional about, I want to use it again. So I think that'll be nice. All right, lovely cross stitch friends. That's all I have in terms of cross stitch stuff. In terms of personal things, I don't know if anybody's interested. That's why I moved it to the end, because if starting out with it, I don't know, I think people just want to get into the meat of what I did. So if you're not interested, I'm going to do personal stuff now, but it won't take that long. Personal stuff, I went to the doctor and I have high cholesterol. Who knew? So I've got to change my diet and uptick on my running as my exercise. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to see a specialist in 2 weeks. I've got to keep a food log. Processed foods. I love a good wheat thins and an Annie's mac and cheese. And apparently, as you get closer to 40, it's not so good for you. So I gotta change my diet. So yeah, that's really the big thing that's going on. I have another quilt that's already finished and made. I have pictures of it waiting in the wings, but it's going for, it's going to be my sister-in-law's baby shower gift. So I'm not putting it up until we have that baby shower, but if you're interested, I did do another baby quilt for my friend. She commissioned it from me, and it is on my Instagram. If you're interested, you can see that. It's an ocean theme, so that was really fun to do. Yeah, did I tell you guys my husband hurt his knee on one of those one-wheel skateboards? It's got the wheel in the middle, and you put your feet on the sides and you have to balance. Yeah, he fell off of that because you're almost 40 and you should be riding one of those, right? And he fell off of that, and then he hurt his knee. Then a few days later, he fell in a gopher hole or some sort of hole throwing a football, and then tore his ACL, I think it is called. Went to the doctor. They did a x-ray for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe it was an MRI. They did something, and they were like, oh yeah, you're not broken bones. And he was like, yeah, no duh, I can walk on it. It's not broken. It's a torn ligament. So yeah, he's got a torn ligament, he's got ice, and all that good stuff. So that's been fun. But yeah, okay, that's all the stuff that's happening. So once the baby shower happens, I'll put those pictures on Instagram, and you'll be able to see the finished product of that baby quilt. But for right now, it's not on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram, so just to keep updated if you're interested in quilts, if you want to see that. Again, it's mostly a cross stitch channel, both on my Instagram and here, but I do also like to quilt, so I do put that stuff out. So if you're interested, check that out. So yeah, I think that's it. Okay, we're under 20 minutes, we're good to go. I just want to say thank you again so much for those of you who have subscribed. Thank you so much, I really do appreciate it. If you're new to this channel and you like cats and you like crafting, come on in, join me, hit subscribe, hit the like button, it helps more people see my channel. And until next time, have an absolutely wonderful week, 2 weeks. Get some stitching in if you can. If you're in an area where it's warm, stay cool, and see you soon. Bye.